under Uniform Commercial Code 440.2511 by tender of payment 2 and 3.
It's not applicable to this case.
And could you tell me why, Your Honor?
Because the UCC doesn't apply to this circumstance. Sir?
Yes.
I'm asking a very simple question.
This sovereign citizen squatter just got absolutely shut down in Judge Simpson's courtroom. Judge Simpson doesn't play games, and in this hearing, he made it crystal clear. You cannot just invent your own currency and expect it to count. As rent, the guy actually tried to pay with a fake cashier's check, complete with Korean characters, and thought that would somehow hold up in court. Spoiler, it didn't. As the judge pointed out, only legal tender is valid for settling debts in the U.S. You can't just declare yourself exempt from the law. Let me know in the comments. Do you think squatter laws should be tougher, or should we be offering more protections for squatters in tough situations? I know some of y'all have strong and sometimes wild opinions, so drop them below. Now let's dive in and watch Judge Simpson dismantle this sovereign citizen's arguments. Live in court.
Good afternoon.
How you doing, Your Honor?
What's your name, sir? What is the claim in this case?
Judge, this is a non-payment of rent action with a money judgment being requested as well. I'm showing that rent is due in the amount of $1,588, court costs of $217 for a total rent retained of $1,805.
And sir,
Yes.
how do you intend upon paying this?
So, Your Honor, I actually tendered payment to Group 5 Management on November 3rd. And my form of payment was refused.
Was what?
My form of payment, she refused payment.
What was your form of payment?
A cashier's check. I actually have the voided check here. And I'm asking for
You had a
yes.
cashier's check? Let me see.
If this is also the refusal in the email from the landlord. All right.
Danny, do you know anything about the refusal of payment?
I do not, Judge. Obviously, I'm standing in for Mr. Weiss. I believe my client or the client was supposed to be on. My understanding was that it wasn't a cashier's check. It was a counter or a check. And the reason it would have been refused was because he's had more than 3 checks come back as insufficient funds. But I would ask if I don't see if he's on here, Judge.
From Randolph Court or Group 5 on the Zoom? We don't have anybody checked in.
We don't.
Email.
Judge.
Hang on, Ms. Zane. He has an email saying about the refusal. Well, it's a text message screenshot.
Yes, it's a email. I actually screenshotted it.
And it says,
If you're enjoying this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out a lot. Now, let's get back to the video.
From somebody with the last name of Aslam, ASLAM, indicating that they received a rent check in the sum of $1,238, which the check that he showed me was in the form of an over-the-counter check. However, must be certified funds. And then, second page, as the system will not accept this, maybe. But
Yeah, Judge. My notes on the ledger show counter check, which is a check that's not. It's one of the ones they give you from the bank, and so again, that's the position I was taking, anyways. It was refused.
So, sir,
Yes.
is there a reason why you can't get certified funds to the landlord?
Well, they actually accepted December's rent from the same check, Your Honor, from my bank.
Okay, but if
Well, because it costs, and my defense is that under Uniform Commercial Code 440.2511 by tender of payment 2 and 3.
It's not applicable to this case
And could you tell me why, Your Honor?
because the UCC doesn't apply to this circumstance.
I'm sorry?
The UCC doesn't apply to this circumstance.
It's a commercial transaction, Your Honor.
The UCC does not apply.
Okay. So where could I find this at that says that this isn't a commercial transaction?
That would be your assertion. I'm telling you it doesn't apply to this.
Just for my understanding that the Uniform Commercial Code governs all commercial transactions in commerce. And so based off of this law, tender of payment is why my defense is that once the tender of payment was refused, at that time, the charge or the total amount was charged.
Even if you were to do that analysis, you can't then have unjust enrichment, which means that you want to move.
I'm sorry?
You can't have unjust enrichment, so you'd have to move because you can't have the apartment and not pay.
No, I mean, I paid the rent. They took the exact form of payment in December.
Okay, look, I get it. Not being able to afford rent sucks. We've all been down bad before. I mean, I'm talking cereal with a fork to save the milk type of struggle. Real talk. But even then, I'm not about to roll up to my landlord with a fake cashier's check and act like I just dropped off the holy grail of rent payments. Like, bro, you think you're gonna Jedi mind trick your way out of eviction? These sovereign citizens will literally try anything to dodge responsibility. And I've said it before. I think it traces back to a mix of parenting issues and the wild influence of the internet. There are just these tiny pockets of people online who get together and double down on being completely out of touch with reality. And don't even get me started on Michigan. What is in the water over there? Every week it's like a new episode of How to Get Arrested with Confidence. I'm telling you, folks will show up in court arguing with the judge, using Google screenshots and pure vibes. One guy even tried to pay with Monopoly money and looked surprised when it didn't work. At this point, Michigan might as well start charging admission. These courtrooms are turning into full-blown circus acts.
Sir, are you going to tender a check or no? Or certified funds to them?
I will tender payment.
Are you going to tender certified funds for the 1805?
So, Your Honor, my rent is $1,238, and just the extra $700, $600. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but if they accepted the rent payment and from my bank in December, I don't know why they wouldn't accept it now. They refused November, and then they accepted December.
Sir?
Yes.
I'm asking a very simple question.
Yeah.
Are you going to tender certified funds to them in the amount of 1805?
I will surrender. I will submit funds.
Certified funds to them.
I plan to. It costs me to do certified, so I would.
As does
I would
the
like
NSF transactions that they've had in the past. So that is my question to you. Are you going to submit certified funds
I'll submit certified funds.
in the amount of 1805?
I like to debate that amount because I'm not sure where that amount's coming from. My rent is $1,238. In court costs, I'm not sure what the other $600.
All right, here's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Defendant to submit $1,238, which at this point is the undisputed amount in certified funds to the landlord no later than December 29th, 2023. And then we will look at the disputed amounts. I will adjourn this matter to January 5th, 2024 at 2 p.m. And I would just note to you, Mr. Smith, that if those funds aren't in, I'm not hearing any additional argument. I will be granting a judgment which will be for their full amount, plus what will at that point be January's rent.
Your Honor, also, the 4th I have to work, so every time that I'm coming here, I'm having to take off for work. And
Sir, I cannot help that.
I mean, is there a way that we can set a different date?
That is my next day.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm telling you right now, next time we see this guy, he's gonna be back in court looking completely lost. Like, but Your Honor, I gave them a piece of paper that said $200 on it. Like, my guy, that is not how money works. You don't just write your own rent check and expect people to play along like it's a group project. The court doesn't care if you wrote it in cursive with a glitter pen. A fake check is still a fake check. And under 18 U.S. Code Paragraph 514, passing a counterfeit financial instrument? That's not a slap on the wrist. That's a welcome to federal prison, enjoy your jumpsuit and government-issued bologna sandwich type of situation. But seriously, if anyone from Michigan is in the comments, I need answers. Is there like a sovereign citizen factory out there? Do you guys have billboards that say, join now, become a lawyer in your mind? Because I swear every viral courtroom meltdown either starts with, I do not consent, or ends with, you have no jurisdiction over me. And it's always happening in Michigan. Someone explain what's going on. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up today's hearing. Let me know in the comments. Was Judge Simpson being fair? Too harsh? Too chill? I'm always down to hear your takes, even the wild ones. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and keeps this content coming. Thanks for watching. I seriously appreciate you all. Take care, stay sane, and don't try to pay rent with arts and crafts. Peace.